On the last day of his presidency, Donald Trump freed a man serving 24 years for stealing $200 million. 6 months later, that man was running a new fraud. By the time it collapsed, another $44 million was gone. His name is Eli Weinstein. And this is a story about what happens when the system gives someone every possible second chance. Eli grew up in the Orthodox Jewish community. His father was a school principal in Brooklyn. By the time he settled in Lakewood, New Jersey, he was known as a generous donor and a devout man of faith. He spent millions on Judaica and religious art. Lakewood is home to Beth Medrash Govoha, the largest yeshiva outside of Israel. Trust runs deep in a community like that. Around 2004, Eli started raising money for real estate deals. Below-market properties, quick flips, guaranteed returns. In this community, deals happen on handshakes with minimal paperwork. When a respected leader says, "Trust me," people trust. The numbers were staggering. According to the indictment, just 3 investors lost over $136 million. Total losses across all victims exceeded $200 million. And the scheme details were almost comedic if real people hadn't been destroyed. He raised $5.4 million for a project involving a supermarket chain in Trotwood, Georgia. Small problem. There is no Trotwood, Georgia. And the supermarket chain had never heard of him. The entire deal was made up from scratch. Wait, the town doesn't exist and the supermarket never heard of him? That's not a red flag. That's a fire alarm. Then there was the widow in Los Angeles. She worked with orphaned children in Israel and dreamed of opening a music school for them. Eli convinced her to hand over $1.2 million, promising to repay it in 3 weeks. 3 weeks? When she begged for her money back, his response was 2 words that I can't repeat on this channel. He told a widow who helps orphans to go away. That tells you everything about who this man really was. At sentencing in 2014, the judge did not hold back. Quote, "You are a cheat. You lied and your deception is relentless. 22 years in prison. $250 million in restitution. $215 million in forfeiture." But even while awaiting trial, he couldn't stop. Under indictment in 2012, he pitched investors on pre-IPO Facebook shares and Florida real estate he didn't own. He used the new money to pay his own lawyers for the fraud case. That earned him 2 more years. The campaign for his freedom was well organized. Criminal justice reform advocates argued the sentence was too long. The White House statement said numerous victims wrote in support. They emphasized his 7 children and loving marriage. On Trump's last day in office, he pardoned more than a dozen people facing fraud charges. White-collar criminals almost never get clemency. This was historic. If this story has you hooked, join the community. We break down cases like this every single week. By July 2021, just 6 months free, Eli was building again. His name and face were everywhere from the first case. So he became a shadow operator. Recruited fresh frontmen to pitch investors while he pulled the strings. Real estate and healthcare investments this time. Same exact playbook. Big promises, guaranteed returns. Another $44 million from new victims who had no idea who they were really dealing with. A convicted Ponzi schemer 6 months out of prison. Looking back, the pattern was obvious. He didn't want to stop. The system gave him every chance. He saw it as permission. After a 7-week trial, Eli was convicted on all counts. Securities fraud, wire fraud, money laundering, conspiracy. In November 2025, he received 37 years. Combined with his original sentence, it's effectively life. 3 fraud schemes across 2 decades. $250 million stolen from people who trusted him. He's 74 years old now. Did you see the warning signs? Let me know in the comments what tipped you off first.